let's go straight to business. Lagos State authorities have accepted 26 recommendations of the Toyin Ayinde-led panel on the collapsed 21-story building in the Ikoyi area of Lagos. A white paper published by the government revealed that 2 existing 15-story buildings still standing on the site of the collapsed structure be demolished and handed over to the state government. And I recall that as many as 50 persons were trapped in the collapsed structure. About 44 fatalities were recorded, while 9 people were rescued. Punishing bad behavior is the ideal thing. I don't think we can ask for any other thing, Jide.
Yes, and if we make a habit of punishing bad behavior regularly, maybe we'll be able to put an end to this kind of infractions, or at least bring the figures down drastically, the figure of collapsed buildings down drastically. We do not punish. I am worried that in Lagos especially, these things keep happening. What you hear is threats, so we are going to deal decisively with anybody found culpable. But the elite in our country hardly punish one another. You see people who are highly connected jumping in
the untouchables
to go and save that person.
Yeah.
You know, even if that person was not originally untouchable, I'm saying that some people will jump in and save him from jail. This is what happens all the time. 44 persons dead. Some of their corpses unclaimed as we speak. The Synagogue Church of All Nations building collapsed, more than 80 persons dead. Majority of them foreigners. We put our nation to shame in respect of that particular tragedy, because even the corpses, the remains of the dead, were not properly taken care of. They were already decomposed when they were being taken to South Africa. I hate to remember that incident because I know that we have refused to punish.
Yeah. September 14, 2014.
The developers who are involved in the the building and the putting up of that structure were recommended to be punished. We have no evidence that any of them, the developers, had been punished. Instead, the church was using the law, using lawyers to prolong the process. Just, it's just unfortunate
to gain time.
And when we fail to learn from experiences such as the Synagogue Church of All Nations building collapse, where we were fed lies to the effect that it was an aircraft that hovered overhead that caused the collapse. But thank God for the coroner that Babatunde Rajifashola's government put in place, the inquest that was put in place. We were able to discover that they didn't get permission to add more flaws.
That's it.
So was it not usually, even in the ministry, some individuals will pass some structures fit when they do not deserve to be passed fit? What do we do about such individuals? We promise to punish, we promise, but it doesn't happen. This one that collapsed, there was a video that went viral when some officials on enforcement duty tried to stop work at the site. Of course, they were resisted by the builder, and he continued to resist them. And unfortunately, what did we see?
See what we have.
What did we see? Go and read the report of the architects on this building collapse. You see clearly that not only were the builders negligent, they were highly irresponsible in causing the deaths of people the way they've done.
Yeah, BC, you know, we can say the same thing about the December 16, 2016 collapse of a church at Uyo. Over 200 people died. And nothing has happened till day after tomorrow. So not punishing bad behavior is a part of the our malaise, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely. And punishment also, the kind of punishment also matters. I think in this particular case, the fact that the two other structures are going to be destroyed, which also has a huge economic implication for the business. I think that is also very important. You see, it's not just, we need to make the punishment be highly comprehensive, such that it will be difficult for people to even imagine to cut corners or cut costs. Because in this particular case, according to SON, Standard Organization of Nigeria, even though all the parts used are genuine, but there are lots of compromises here and there. In cases where they are supposed to use maybe 10 mm iron, they compromised.
That's it.
And they also talked
for a high rise like
that. And they also talked about the fact that the inspection and the people in charge of the building didn't actually do enough supervision. That if it had been well supervised, a lot of things would have been brought to notice of the notice of the company or whoever. But unfortunately, the owners of the business are also the architects, they are the engineers, and they are the construction firm. So what do you get from that? I think aside punishing them, we should also ensure that we are not in a situation where the builder is the architect, the engineer, and the supervisor, because such are likely to lead to problems.
Apart from punishing, so the right thing should be done.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, my mind goes to the building finished, 21 stories, and tenants have taken possession, and bam, just happened. Can you imagine the harvest of deaths?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Well, in this case, even losses recorded monetarily is also significant, because what we were told was that it was even fully subscribed. People had paid, you know.
I heard so.
So
in dollars.
Yeah. So what do you do? It's even a travesty to pay for such things within our country in dollars, you know, where people truly desire to strengthen their currency. They don't do this. You can't go and buy something in South Africa with the US dollar, except you are in the duty-free shop at the airport.
Yeah.
Try it.
Yeah.
You at least I've been there a number of times. You won't. You can't even exchange currency except you go to the designated areas, and your passport will be taken, the records made before you even do that transaction. But here, people can change currency wherever they like. Our currency has been so debased, so devalued, so we have this kind of problem. So I just hope that we learn from this, because the usual threats to punish, that's what we read. At the end of the day, big people will ensure that the people truly deserve to be punished don't get punished, and then it will happen again.
And
again. So it's only the poor people who get punished. The poor people who do not have anyone in Aso Rock or all these big places, National Assembly, who can speak for them. They are the ones who get punished in our nation.
And I hear one phone call is enough.
Yes.
To let the offender
Once
go.
they hear the voice at the other end, that is the voice of a big man, it's all over.
Okay.